This is part 2 of the polity lecture. So we are discussing what is the need of the political science or polity. The need of the political science arises due to the demand of polis society and accountable administration. Basic ideas are questioned and struggled with. So in the society in which we live, there is accountability of our administration and the demand of the polis society is there. हम जानते हैं कि हमारा प्रशासन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हमारे प्रति अकाउंटेबल है और जो हमारा समाज है वो एक साफ़ सुथरा और सभ्य समाज है। तो हम ऐसे समाज में रहने के लिए हमें कुछ विज्ञान की ज़रूरत है और वो विज्ञान है राजनीति विज्ञान। तो पॉलिटिकल साइंस डील्स with the study of political ideas, thoughts, affiliations to work out on policies. For example, Chanakya Niti. So, the need of polity is with human interaction. We know that with human interaction becoming complex, the need of having a governing body arises to maintain peace and accountable system to take decisions on the communities or nation behalf. What is the work input of political science as a theme or as a subject? So, a political scientist uses ongoing debate, discussions, surveys, and philosophies to create modified theories that are suitable for the present. For example, Prashant Kishore, we all know, whereas polity is defines the work input as the input for governments are the work of political scientists. The governing body closely studies various political frameworks to find the best one of them to solve. So we get the differentiation between the polity and political science. What is polity? The input or output of a polity is Prashant Kishore, whereas the output of a political science is Acharya Chanakya and his blessings to us, that is Chanakya Niti. I will discuss Chanakya Niti and its eminent importance in our life later on. So today we are going to discuss the polity. So polity basically consists of constitution, social justice, and governance, and others are the topics of headlines that are international relations. So polity is a very vast topic, and so to discuss it we need time to exchange thought ideas. So every political system is based on constitution. Every political system, make a note here, every political system consists of or is based on constitution. यानी कि कोई भी पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम है, कोई भी राजनीति से जुड़ा हुआ एक सिस्टम है, एक ढांचा है, तो उसमें संविधान की आवश्यकता है। ये हम सभी जान चुके हैं, क्योंकि बिना राजनीति विज्ञान के या फिर बिना संविधान के, यहाँ पर संविधान की ही बात करेंगे हम, क्योंकि बिना संविधान के कोई भी राजनीति ढांचा एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर सकता, वो नहीं रह सकता। इसलिए हर पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम में एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की आवश्यकता होती है और वो उसी पे बेस्ड होता है। दो पॉलिटी इज मोर देन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इट ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स द डायनेमिक पार्ट इनटू इट. So the other point comes in our mind that what is the purpose of constitution? Purpose of constitution. So the purpose of constitution is to lay down the framework of political system. It means that we need power mapping. What is power mapping? We will discuss it in a later way. So here we have to remember that it is a framework to lay down the political system. It is a framework to lay down the political system. So what is constitution? Now the term arises constitution. ये एक सवाल है हमारे सामने कि पहले संविधान होता क्या है, आप पहले उसे जानोगे तभी तो आप आगे के ढांचे के बारे में समझ पाओगे कि पॉलिटी क्या है और पॉलिटिकल साइंस क्या है और संविधान से जुड़े हुए सोशल जस्टिस, गवर्नेंस और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दे क्या हैं और उनको कैसे सॉल्व किया जा सके. सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ पावर मैप, रिमेंबर इट. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ power map. There is a need to think about it, a feeling, a thought, action about it. So constitution is a power map defining the powers of different branches of government. So we know that what are the different branches of government. As I have discussed earlier, the three branches of government are legislature, executive, and judiciary. So now we will discuss about that. Then our second point, that no country can exist without constitution. Sorry, that is a wrong pronunciation. Constitution. So no country can exist without constitution. Make a point here. No country can exist without constitution. So I told you that no country can exist without constitution, but why is it so? आप ये सोचो कि क्या कोई ऐसा देश है धरती पे जहाँ पे संविधान ना हो और वो एग्जिस्ट कर रहा हो? नहीं है ना. सो द आइडिया और थॉट इज दैट. सो टाइप्स ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, रिटन एंड अनरिटन. देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, रिटन and unwritten. So what is the basis of this categorization? The basis of this categorization is on the basis of preparation by the constituent assembly. That is the constitution is either prepared by constituent assembly or not. So what is the example of written constitution? The example of written constitution is Indian constitution. Why it's so? I will discuss it on the basis that we have talked about. It has been called or prepared by the Constituent Assembly. That's why it is called written constitution. Whereas British constitution is unwritten. So why it is unwritten? You know that well, that it has not been written or prepared by the Constituent Assembly, whereas Indian constitution is the written constitution. So make a point here that no constitution is entirely written or unwritten. Written constitution are distinguished on the basis of the fact that they are product of Constituent Assembly. So proceeding ahead, the other classifications are on the basis of amendments. So a country in power or a country having government have some constitution, or any country can not exist without constitution. So it has a constitution. So it is also categorized on the basis of amendments. So on the basis of amendments, there are two types of constitution: rigid and flexible. So what is the example of a rigid constitution? Any constitution that requires special majority is known as rigid constitution. For example, American Constitution. Okay? Whereas flexible constitution is that constitution which can be amended easily, or that requires a simple majority for amendment. For example, British Constitution. So we are talk about American and British Constitution. So what is the Indian Constitution? The Indian Constitution is in between of these two. That is, it is neither rigid nor flexible. So amendments in the Indian Constitution has been given in the Article 3, which states that amendment is done by simple majority. Article 3, amendment by simple majority. Now our next topic is types of majority. In India, in Indian Constitution, there are 4 different types of majority. First one is simple, second one is special, third one is effective, and the last but not the least, absolute majority. So what is simple majority? In simple majority, amendments can be done by simply amending the constitution, or by simple majority. It needs a simple majority. That is, before discussing the simple majority, we should know that what is the quorum. Today in our article of the Hindu, we got the news about the quorum and discussions of the parliament proceedings, that the government is not considering the Pegasus discussion because of the quorum. So quorum in India, in Indian Parliament or Indian Constitution, is 1/10. So 1/10 of the total strength. So what is quorum? Total strength का 1/10वां भाग. Total strength of the parliament or members of the parliament. So simple majority can be amended easily by simple majority, that is either 1/10 or 1/10 plus 1. That is, if we are, that is 1/10 plus 1. But we know that the 1/10 plus 1 is, here 1/10 is the members present and voting. If suppose we know that 545 members are there in the parliament, suppose its 1/10 part, its 1/10 part is 54. Suppose 54 members are present in the parliament, but 20 members are present and voting. So we need a simple majority of 1/10 plus 1, that is 11. Simple majority. Here don't get confused. Here 1/10 is the 1 by 10 is the, this is 50%, sorry. Here 1 by 10 is the quorum, and that quorum comes out to be 54, and 50% here is 10, means 10 members of the parliament plus 1, that is 11. This is a simple majority to discuss a state, or to make a state. So a state can be formed by a simple majority of 50% plus 1 members present and voting. So what is special majority? We know that judges can be removed by special majority. They can only be removed by special majority. This majority is neither simple nor effective nor absolute. Special majority. To create all new India services, we need to bring a resolution in Rajya Sabha by 2/3 of the members present and voting. 2/3 of members present and voting is the key idea for the special majority. So this is given in the Article 249 and 312 of the Indian Constitution that confines to special majority. But don't get confused, this is not the only need for the special majority. Article 368 also deals with the amendment of the Constitution. So what is this? You need to fulfill two conditions simultaneously at the same time for this. That is 2/3 of the members present and voting in the parliament. And the second condition, that is the important condition, 50% plus 1 of the total strength of the members of the house. And third one is for the impeachment of the president. So one question, please make it to your attempt and get it done. That suppose in Lok Sabha 280 members are present, out of which 212 have participated in voting. So what will be the majority required to pass the amendment in above situation? How many members should vote in favor? Just calculate in and just make a comment in the comment section box. Thank you. That's all for today.